You have questions, I have answers. Welcome into Saints Now by Chat Sports. Today's video is a mailbag where we're answering questions from our subscribers as a part of our weekly live shows every single Wednesday. So if you want to get your questions in the future, ask them right now in this video or hang out, tune in, and join us on our weekly live shows every Wednesday around 4 p.m. Central Time. Really quick programming reminder, I want to let you guys know we are going to be in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. I am going to be in New Orleans for the Super Bowl doing media. I'm going to be on Radio Row doing media content. We got passes and all that good stuff. I'm going to be going around Canal Street and Bourbon doing street interviews. So if you guys are out there, hit your boy up. But if you guys have any recommendations for the Chat Sports crew, we got a bunch of Yankees, a bunch of guys from Philly, some guys from Kansas that have never been to New Orleans. So I want to make sure we show them a good time. Drop some recommendations for the Chat Sports squad down in the comments. All righty, $20 super chat from Dark Knight. Do you think Kellen Moore will keep Carr if he's hired as the head coach? So this is a tough one because I think you can justify either answer, but I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to say he cuts him. And why? Because Kellen Moore is not tied to Derek Carr. Dennis Allen is tied to Derek Carr. There's no allegiance between Kellen Moore and no loyalty from Moore to Carr. And on top of that, if you cut Derek Carr, make him a post-June 1 cut, you save $30 million that you can spend in order to help improve the roster for Kellen Moore in his first year. So I think that he would opt to cut Derek Carr, see what happens with Spencer Rattler, and if it doesn't work, the next year you're drafting a quarterback. Quinn Courtney! What's going on, girl? Justin Fields at quarterback with Tyler Warren, Taysom Hill, and Cam. I'm going to assume Cam Skattebo, the Arizona State running back. I like that. I think that's a good little duo right there. Or there's a quattro. It's a good quattro. Justin Fields, Tyler Warren, Taysom Hill, and Cam. A quintuple, a quadruple. I don't know. This is a good group. That's what we're trying to get at. Me and Justin, we can't figure it out. All righty, Patrick, what's going on, man? Got a question. Have you seen the? Oh God. Yeah. From ML Football. I'll tell you what. No, I would never actually trade Chris Olave. I personally would not. I don't think he wants to get traded. He has actually said that he is in very good spirits, and he's very happy, and he's eager to get back to work, with the Saints specifically. No, I wouldn't trade Chris Olave. I don't care how bad your team is. You don't trade blue-chip players like a talented wide receiver such as Chris Olave. I think that he is a great player. I think you got to keep him around. At least until you have a better option. And if you get rid of your best receiver, you're asking for problems. I'll ask you, though, would you trade Chris Olave? I hope a lot of y'all say pass, because I personally would not. Somebody in the comment section of our live show is asking, Trace, are you from New Orleans? No, I am not. I'm just a diehard Saints fan. I have family from right outside of Slidell, though. That being said, I grew up in the Dallas area. I've never claimed to be from New Orleans, never claimed to be from Louisiana. I'm just a diehard fan. I'm covering my favorite team for my job, so can't blame me. CTM, who should be our new OC? I don't know, man, because it's going to depend on who gets hired. Like Kellen Moore is going to be Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is going to be more than likely named the head coach. Some names to maybe keep an eye on. Brian Johnson, I believe he's the Eagles quarterbacks coach. Eric Bieniemy maybe. But Kellen Moore is going to be calling the plays. So the offensive coordinator here, it's not that it's not as important, but like think of it as like who's the DC for Dennis Allen. Like Dennis Allen was calling all the defense. Like Joe Woods wasn't actually really calling plays. He was just kind of there as a support role. So yeah, I don't think that the OC is as important as it was last year because we're hiring more than likely an offensive-minded coach. Cairo, this Kellen Moore with Ashton, Jeanty, Taysom Hill, and okay. So you're taking Quinn Courtney's and you're just skewing it a little bit here. So instead of Tyler Warren, you're going Harold Fanning. I like Harold Fanning. 1,500 total yards this year, 10 touchdowns. He averaged 13 yards per catch this year and 14 yards per catch last year. Ashton Jeanty, I think that pairing him with Kellen Moore would be a great idea. I'm not the only one who thinks that. I've talked about it. Ross Jackson's talked about it. Ross Jackson said, hey, Trizzy Trace had that idea. We're both geniuses and we're both crazy enough to do it. Like, Ashton Jeanty is a phenomenal, generational talent. I would love to see what a quality, great running back can do with Kellen Moore, because look what he did with Saquon Barkley. Look what he's done with Ezekiel Elliott. I know Alvin Kamara is a great running back. That's not me taking any away from AK. That's more so me saying AK is not going to be playing high-level football in 6 or 7 years. You're going to have somebody do that in 6 or 7 years. And if Kellen Moore's your head coach, why not go ahead and just pair your head coach and your running back now? I think it's a nice little duo there. Really fast, we got more questions to get to, but I want to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is the best ticketing app on the market. That's Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Use code CHATSPORTS. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. The Game Time is absolutely amazing. They have a lot of great features, but the best one is the Game Time picks. They filter out the fluff to show you only great seats and to make it easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Game Time has other great features such as all-in pricing, seat views, the lowest price guarantee, and Game Time ticket coverage, which means your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. I have had to use the customer service hotline for Game Time. They could not have been more helpful. They were quick. They were efficient. They communicated very well. I absolutely cannot endorse Game Time enough, and I can't emphasize how badly you guys need to download the Game Time app. If you guys want to get tickets to the big game here in New Orleans, you want to get tickets to Jazz Fest, Shaq's Funhouse is coming up. There's all sorts of great events going on around the Gulf Coast region. Download the Game Time app. Use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but once again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Shout out to Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Alrighty, John. Can we go D-line or wide receiver if T-Mac is there in the first round? Okay. Can we go D-line or wide receiver? So if you're saying if T-Mac is there in round one, are you asking would I go wide receiver or D-line? If T-Mac's there, I'm taking Tetairoa McMillan, because that means to me Mason Graham and Abdul Carter and the other top defensive linemen are off the board. I would go T-Mac in this situation, and I am all for drafting Cam Skattebo in round 2. Carter Johnson, oh boy, a lot of trade rumors today. I saw S Tyrann Mathieu trade rumors. Is the Honey Badger gone? Carter, I also did see an article from Bleacher Report. They're like, well, Tyrann Mathieu still playing at a very high level, and he hasn't taken a dip in his talent, and yada, yada, yada. And, to a certain extent, I agree, but, there's definitely been some tackling issues with Tyrann Mathieu. You can definitely tell he's not as quick as he used to be. It's not me hating on him. That's just me saying he is not as athletic as he was 6 or 7 years ago, and those are facts. I'm a big fan of Tyrann Mathieu. I don't want to lose Tyrann Mathieu. I think he is a key part of this team. I don't think that they trade him, though. But this was the Bleacher Report trade idea. They said Tyrann Mathieu for a 5th-round pick. The Saints don't have a 5th-round selection right now. You have 10 picks. Without that, you add an 11th selection if you do this trade. So with that in mind, what would you do? Accept or decline this trade idea? I'm going to still decline it. I like Tyrann Mathieu as a leader. And honestly, he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He wants to be a Saint. He wants to retire a Saint. And, I know that it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows recently, but I feel like for that regard, we got to have something to root for. Let's see Tyrann Mathieu and some of these legends just go ahead and hang them up as New Orleans Saints. Jaden, one of our legends here on the channel. Appreciate you for always tuning in, Jaden. If you are the owner of the Saints, what would you do with quarterback, defensive coordinator, and who do you want at DC? Man, that's a tough one. See, this is why I wanted to, everyone's like, why would you want to, you're so stupid, Trace. You don't know ball. Why would you want to rush your hiring? Why would you want to go, take your time. You're the only team. Take your freaking time. Well, because all of the coordinators that are worth a shit are gone. Maybe you could get is it Vic Fangio? Yeah, Vic Fangio. He's over in Philadelphia. Maybe you could get him to come to New Orleans. That'd be pretty cool. Is Vic Fangio in Philadelphia? Hold on. Yeah, he is. He's the defensive coordinator. I was like, wait, the Broncos? Not brain fart. He was the Broncos before that. Yeah, I'd be down to bring in Vic Fangio. There's other defensive coordinators. I can't really think of another one. What would I do with quarterback Derek Carr? I would go ahead and cut him. I'm tired of being in the red with cap space. I'm just kind of in the camp of, you already fired the head coach. You might as well fire the quarterback too. Like, you didn't have any ties to Derek Carr until Dennis Allen was the head coach. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm cool with it. Alrighty, from Ricky, would you draft a center to be under Erik McCoy? No, honestly, no. I think that Erik McCoy, I mean, he is one of the best centers in the league. That is a fact. But I also think Erik McCoy's injuries were kind of a fluke this year. Like, he had never really had injury issues this bad ever. I can understand why you might want to draft a center, but I also thought that whenever, I believe it was Shane Lemieux who filled in, I thought he was okay when he filled in. Like, I didn't think it was like a drastic, horrible, terrible center. But I will say, I think that there's bigger needs on the offensive line. Like, across the O-line, of all 5 positions, center is the least of the needs. Hunter, what do you think about getting Quinn Ewers if he's available? What round, Hunter? What round? That's a big key for me because I'm not doing it in round 3. I'm certainly not doing it in round 4. If you trade back into 5, maybe, but probably not. Like, okay, I have been consistent with my take. I'm not drafting a quarterback unless it's in the 6th round. I'm going to stay consistent there. I'm not drafting a quarterback unless it's 6th round. So if Quinn Ewers falls to the 6th, sure. We don't have a 5th round pick. Otherwise, I'd say maybe the 5th, but we don't have a 5th round pick. So if he's there in 6th, sure, maybe, probably. But no, I'm good. Would Jackson, this is a good one. Would Zack Baun come back to the Saints? Look, I don't think anyone had on their bingo card the year that Zack Baun had. I mean, he was a historic player this year. The Eagles used him in coverage the same way the Saints did, and he was just much better. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the scheme. I don't know if it was the coaching. I don't know if it was the motivation. I don't know. But he seemed to have found himself a good little role. He seems to have cashed himself in a lot of money this offseason. And to be honest, like, why would you want to come back to the Saints? Like, if you're in Zack Baun's shoes, I mean, for the better part of a couple years, Saints fans were just dogging on you nonstop. So, maybe this is a lesson in the regards of, if a player has a bad year and then he has a good year, maybe we should stop shitting on players left and right just because we're upset. They're upset too. It's a different discussion, but I mean, I would love Zack Baun to come back, but why the hell would he want to come back here? Like, no, he's earned himself a lot of money, and quite frankly, the Saints can't afford to bring him back, which is crazy to say out loud. Simply Archive. Cut or trade Carr and give Rattler a chance to see what he really has with some decent weapons. See, here's the thing about trading Carr. No, because if you trade him pre-June 1st, you're actually losing money, which is stupid. If you trade him post-June 1st, you save $40 million. But when's the NFL draft? Justin, the NFL draft, is it before or after June? It's in April? So before June? Okay. So, yeah, you won't even be able to get those draft picks till next year. Like, no, we're not going to draft, or you're not going to trade Derek Carr. Cut him. Sure. Other than that, like, I just want to explain why you can't trade Derek Carr. I'm all down to cut him. Go ahead and shed that money, and let's just get this stuff figured out sooner rather than later. Mr. Filmer, not on the Saints, but are you coming before February 5th for the Super Bowl? I'm performing at the Soulful Celebration Super Bowl. Oh, dude, that's sick, man. Yeah, so I cannot remember what day we're coming out. I cannot remember what day we're driving out there. I want to say we're driving out Sunday of Super Bowl week, and then we'll be there through Friday. So I'll be there for a good chunk of the week. I can't remember what day it is off the top of my head, and I can't remember the dates exactly. But if we're there, Mr. Filmer, I will not miss this. I would love to come and support you and see how you play. And also, on top of that, you support me, so just want to do that. But guys, thank y'all so much for tuning into our mailbag. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, asking some really good questions, sharing some hot takes. Y'all stay golden. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.